I've never sharpened a knife in my life, neither have my parents. I've been using dull blades for as long as I can remember, and I'm sick of it. So I bought this $30 knife sharpening kit from Amazon. This particular kit includes 2 stones with 2 different grits, all the way from 600 to 10,000. I chose to go all the way up to 10,000 because I thought the higher the number, the sharper the blade, right? It may have been a bit overkill. We may not even need to use this stone at all from what I've read. These stones are for sharpening the blade. This stone is for sharpening the stone. At least grind it down when it starts to get damaged. And then this plastic tool to put the blade at the correct angle. I'm not sure if I'll be using it. It also comes with this guidebook that may or may not have been written by someone with an English degree, but it's still very useful. The first thing it tells us to do is to put the stones in water for 10 to 15 minutes. So let's do that. While waiting for the stones to get saturated, let's do a baseline test. This is the knife that I'm going to be trying to sharpen. You can see it just by looking at it with your eye. It's not in great shape. First up, we have the paper test. Yeah, really bad. I think it's fair to say that that's a fail. Next up, the tomato test. It does its job, at least, but it's, look at this. I have to push so hard. Yeah, that's a fail as well. That's what we have to work with. There's definitely potential for improvement. The basic idea is that you want to keep the blade at a specific angle relative to the stone and move it back and forth while at all times maintaining that angle. And the angle you want to use depends on the type of knife you want to sharpen. For us though, I think about 20 degrees should be the sweet spot. So let's go for that. I'm gonna start with the coarsest one, the 600 grit. Okay, so this is 90 degrees. This is 45. That's 30 maybe, so 20 should be here somewhere. This knife has not been sharpened to this angle before. They said to keep adding some water. Oh shit, that was a lot of water. But I don't want to lose this this dust that collects because it's very useful. Yeah, that was for sure too much water.
Somewhere in my head I'm still a white knight, flying across the plains into my last fight. Somewhere in my head I'm still a hero, work my way back up from pretty much nothing. And if you die young and are born again, please tell someone why.
I've been sharpening both sides of the blade using the 600 stone only. The edge is almost completely smooth. Before there was a few bumps and scratches on it, and more noticeably than that even. If the sharpened part of the edge before was maybe half a millimeter, now it's about 2 millimeters. That means that I've probably lowered the sharpening angle quite significantly to what it was before. It's very possible that I sharpened it at 15 or even 10 degrees. I don't really have a good way to test that out. The bad thing about sharpening it at a too small angle is that it's gonna go dull really fast. Then I'll just have to sharpen it again, I guess. Let's move on though to the 1500 side. Yeah, it feels a lot smoother. I'm gonna try to be even more careful to keep the same angle now. The easiest method I found for getting an evenly sharp blade was to control the angle using my right hand and apply pressure using my left, and working through the blade section by section until I could no longer feel any irregularities. Then I'd do the same thing on the other side and repeat it for each different grit.
There's not much time, but I've got time to see it.
I've been at this for about an hour now. I look like I'm taking beginner pottery class. I've gone through every single stone. Anyway, I'm gonna wash up and then we'll do the test. Okay, you know the drill. Let's start with the paper. I'm incredibly nervous about this. Are you ready? Yes! Oh, let's try again. Wow, this is awesome. How slow do you think I can do it? Oh, that was my bad. Okay, now for the tomato. Wow, it was surprisingly easy. I've always thought that sharpening knives was, you know, very hard and difficult. That's why nobody did it. But a couple of minutes just grinding back and forth, you could really feel the feedback as well. In the beginning, it was rough. It felt like having it against the sandpaper, which it basically is. But then at the end, it was very smooth. So you could actually feel when you'd done some progress. If I was gonna buy this thing again, I probably wouldn't buy 2 stones. It's a bit overkill. I think I would only stick to this one actually. 600 was a pretty good number to start with. It gets the knife sharp, and it's also pretty quick. And you know, this thing, the angle keeper, first of all, it doesn't work on my blade because it's too big. It only works on larger blades, and you don't really need it. It's not that hard to keep an angle. The difficult part is keeping the right angle, and in hindsight I probably should have measured and got some kind of reference before I started, but it ended up fine. That's it for today. Now I'm gonna go sharpen every other knife I own. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Peace.
Somewhere in my head I'm still a white knight, flying across the plains into my last fight. Somewhere in my head I'm still a hero, work my way back up from pretty much nothing. Somewhere in my head I'm still a white